Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we are going to be doing some experiments with Lillian Powell. Now, you guys might not know who Lillian Powell is, but she's best well known for being that annoying lady in the Saint Denis Saloon. Now you probably know who I'm talking about. That's right, she never leaves this couch sort of right next to the bar and is always shouting, where's Tom? I'm going to horsewhip him. I need my cocaine. I'm not even joking. That's the sort of stuff that she actually talks about. And a lot of you guys sent me Facebook messages saying that I should check this lady out, see if she's hiding anything, and do some experiments with her as well. So there's actually 4 different encounters that you can have with her. And you'll actually get more lines of dialogue out of her if you just sort of sit here and listen to what she has to say. Again, she'll start rambling on about Tom and cocaine and, how people are boring and how Evelyn Miller has a tiny you-know-what. There's so much craziness that goes on with her, but I want to show you guys the 4 encounters that you can have that actually go into a cutscene. So let's take a listen to these right now, and we'll pick back up after this.
So you've got quite a way with words.
What are you looking at, cowboy?
Well, I ain't too sure.
Well, that's a feeling I imagine you're just too familiar with, darling. Now shoo, please. I'm waiting for someone interesting to turn up.
Madam?
Jimmy! Is Jimmy here? Have you seen Jimmy, tough guy?
Can't say that I have.
Well, when you see him, punch him for me, will you? Bloody little man's late with my cocaine.
In the basement of the store down the street.
Yes, indeed.
Bon ben.
Evening.
Now the city's creating a new parish for that dinosaur.
Nice to see you again, cowboy.
And you, Miss,
Lillian Powell. I used to be quite well known. Now I'm just the bloody town drunk.
who knew you?
The worst types, darling. Intellectuals. In other words, men without balls. Hermaphrodites, as my mother would call them. Eunuchs, as my father liked to say. Geldings. I was popular with geldings, darling. Now even the balls hate me. I'm a fat old mess.
All those steamboats from up north that keep catching fire, they're all insured by the same Serbian.
Hey,
Just what exactly are we doing alive? It's a mystery to me. No mistake. If you got any ideas, big man?
no, not really.
Well, at least you're honest. All my life I've been surrounded by morons claiming to know the answer to that question. Liars. Bloody lot of them. Narcissi, all of them. It's the great American sickness, vanity. I'm very drunk. Where is that little shit? Tommy, darling, where are you?
Okay, so Lillian Powell is just a little bit crazy. We get some background information on her. She's an intellectual, a socialite. She's said to have a husband named David, and she described him as a reluctant man who could seduce anyone. And Lillian's husband was also a composer who wrote a long section for the timpani and was in love with the percussionist. And she's never seen anywhere in Red Dead Redemption 2 other than at the Bastille Saloon. She also seems to have a cocaine addiction, as she was calling for that over and over and over again. She seems to be a drunk. She seems to have had a successful career, but now doesn't do much other than just sit around the Bastille Saloon. So you might again be wondering who exactly Lillian Powell is. Well, I had the bright idea of seeing if we could kidnap Lillian Powell to get some more background on who she was. I wanted to see if she had any documents on her or anything like that. And I also wanted to see if the people of Saint Denis would actually care. Like, for example, when we kidnapped the eugenics guy, that super racist dude who hands us that pamphlet, no one cared. Like, no one batted an eye. So I was wondering if the same thing would happen here. What happens if we kidnap Lillian Powell? Will the citizens of Saint Denis care, or will they let you get away with it because she's so annoying? But that's exactly what I did. I ended up hog-tying her up, and unfortunately, as soon as I did that, I became wanted for kidnapping. So you aren't able to get away with it, and everyone just starts to sprint out of the saloon. So again, unfortunately, she does not give you the same like invincibility to kidnapping as that eugenics guy does. And surprisingly, even as annoying as she is, the citizens of Saint Denis are, I guess, interested in her well-being. Now, again, I wanted to see if she had anything on her, so I brought her upstairs after I got my wanted level down, and I decided to loot her. And the only thing she had on her was a ton of candies, which is kind of surprising. Maybe it's not surprising, the amount of cocaine she does, but regardless, that's all she had on her. Nothing that would give us more background on who she actually is. And I decided once I had looted her of her belongings, which consisted of 4 pieces of candy, that I guess I should let her go. I wanted to see what would happen if I did. And like most people that were just hogtied and kidnapped, she ends up running away. She just ends up completely sprinting in random directions across Saint Denis. And I'm not sure if she would come back to the Bastille Saloon. Like, I know for a fact if you were to kill her, she wouldn't like be resurrected. But would she like eventually come back? And what would happen if she saw you again? That might be another experiment for another day, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to gather any information, or at least any additional information, by hogtying and kidnapping her. However, we can find some more information on Lillian Powell. We can actually find her cigarette card. So if you go to the town of Pleasance, you know that town that has like the stay out plague sort of shed? Well, her cigarette card, believe it or not, is on the outside of that. And you can pick it up right here, and you can see that her card is in arts and philanthropy, and that's her, Lillian Powell, right there. And she is known as Prominent Americans. And some of the other prominent Americans include Leviticus Cornwall. You can see General Quincy Harris. So people like that. So she is apparently a very famous American to get her own little card like this. I'm assuming she's like a writer or a poet or an intellectual or a thinker, something along those lines. So that's where her cigarette card is. Now, again, it's on the outside of this stay out plague shed. I don't know if there's a connection there in any way, shape, or form, or if that was just where Rockstar decided to place the cigarette card. But regardless, that's kind of interesting. Now, interestingly enough, Lillian Powell is also one of the few characters that actually ages as the epilogue progresses. So you guys have seen what she has looked like throughout chapters 2 through 6. Well, if you actually return to the Saint Denis Saloon as John, well, she will still be there in the exact same spot. So for the last 8 years, she has continued to do absolutely nothing. And she has also changed her outfit, and her hair has gotten significantly gray and white. So the only thing she's done over the last 7 years is her hair has changed colors and she's changed her outfit once. But there is a difference, and that is kind of cool that Rockstar decided to update her for the epilogue. Now, interestingly enough, I almost completely forgot about this. It turns out that you can actually spot Lillian at the party that you attend in Chapter 4. So in a mission called the Gilded Cage, where you're invited to Mayor Lemieux's big mansion party, you can actually run into Lillian Powell at the party. Now, you can't really have any super unique lines of dialogue with her, but she is there, and she is interacting with some other fellow party guests. So that is kind of interesting that she was invited to this. She was well known enough that, you know, she could be invited to a party where other rich people and important people are. So that is kind of cool. And again, that's the only other mission in which she makes an appearance in. And it's something you might not have known about, that you can run into her at this party as well. Not that you probably want to because she's super annoying, but it is something that you can do at least. Now, if you guys are wondering if there's any consequences for not talking to Lillian, the answer is no. She doesn't give you any quests or missions. So honestly, if you just get annoyed with her and you want to shoot her in the face, you can do that if you want, and you're not going to be missing out on any missions. The only thing that won't happen is she obviously won't be resurrected, so that couch seat in the Saint Denis Saloon will forever be empty. But anyways, that's all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. Let me know what you think about Lillian Powell in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care. And I'll see you guys in the next video.